صباح الخير. يوجد في العالم
Good morning.
تكامل وفي بعض الأحيان مواجهة.
Traditional local medicine and conventional modern medicine, which is often termed Western medicine, are complementary, although sometimes at odds.
والطب التقليدي منتشر في الهند.
Traditional medicine is widely used in India and is called Ayurveda, and is also widespread in China, where traditional Chinese medicine includes acupuncture, body massage, herbal medicine, food science, and Qigong. However, the ancient traditional Chinese medicine could not prove its efficacy as opposed to the current scientific practice, although it has numerous followers in Asia, Africa, Middle East, and the West.
يصعب على الصحفيين المختصين في الصحة معالجة المواضيع المتعلقة.
Health journalists find it challenging to cover stories pertaining to traditional medicine, given that their background and their education are evidence-based, realistic, and grounded in science. The coverage of these issues gets even trickier with regard to the major political climate surrounding the traditional medicine in China, where legal action is taken against any of its critics.
الطب التقليدي في الصين حيث يتعرض منتقدوه لعقوبات جنائية. لنتحدث عن الطب.
Let's discuss journalism and traditional medicine in China with Carole Isoux, a correspondent in Southwest Asia since 10 years, previously correspondent in China for many French media outlets such as BFM TV, Ouest France, L'Obs, and Europe 1, and for international media institutions such as South China Morning Post. She is also the head of the Thai department of the Union of International Francophone Press.
رئيسة الفرع التايلاندي للاتحاد الدولي للصحافة الفرنكوفونية.
La médecine traditionnelle chinoise.
Traditional medicine here in Asia is a medical branch. Even inside a hospital fitted with modern Western equipment, there is always a Chinese medicine ward, and the two wards work together.
Eh bien, il y a toujours un département de médecine chinoise, et les deux départements collaborent.
For example, around 90% of COVID patients receive traditional Chinese medicine treatment as a therapy on its own or associated with modern treatments.
Un traitement de médecine traditionnelle chinoise, ce sont des médecines qui sont
This type of medicine is less expensive, and in some poor countries such as Laos or certain African countries,
ou certains pays africains,
this traditional medicine is largely integrated in standard medical practices.
Des pratiques médicales, alors que
Whereas from a Western perspective, this medicine is not recognized as such.
Reconnue comme une médecine valable.
This offered visibility and a regulatory framework to this discipline, which was met with great skepticism by Western practitioners, who described it as mysticism backed by some states. People oppose it strongly for financial motives, but also for political and cultural reasons. A medical discipline always hides a train of thought, a way of viewing the world. The Chinese medicine, which is gaining momentum in the world, reflects also the Chinese mentality and the Chinese culture, which are expanding their influence. This is a very delicate issue, specifically now. I tried choosing experts capable of explaining their discipline in simple terms, easy to understand by a Western audience who has its own references. I often chose practitioners who have built a dual background both in Western medicine and traditional Chinese medicine. For instance, if we criticize a product or a drug or a vaccine, this often leads to consequences because the big labs don't like to be the object of bad publicity. They have very powerful PR services. The arguments they produce as part of the debates around Chinese medicine, there is no mass testing that isolates the products, because this is how the testing procedure is done in Western medicine. But in traditional medicine, the approach is holistic. We don't give the same drug to the same patient depending on his age, place of residence, and his eating habits. Consequently, it's difficult to conduct testing on a large scale. We should dismiss the argument that blames lack of testing or absence of proof and not fall into that trap. We should instead consider the real political stakes behind these medical choices.